Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm seeing the comments of Kenyans. We are at the moment. Like I said, our experts have not done much. You know, every time they talk of epidemic, you'll just hear swine flu in the year 1840. You'll hear SARS in the year. I mean, are you saying in Africa we never had any epidemic? So if you have PhD in epidemic, what have you been doing? You know, you have not studied any epidemic, because when I talk to older people, they will tell you, oh, we had this thing called Nundu, it came, it killed people here. And then when you hear our medics and our scientists talking, they're only talking of what happened in Europe. That shows you how alienated we are. And then we have been talking here how much we think the world or the white world don't respect us. And sometimes we need to face the hard truth and look at the mirror. We are the problem, because the way we treat our own people, the way we treat each other is very sad. We take life for granted. If you heal, you heal like a fly. You know, it is up to you. There is no intervention. You are telling people do home care. Some people live in one room. How can they do home care and self-quarantine? You started at the beginning clobbering them and beating them and locking them. The police had their share of what the enforcement is to them. So we really need to be sober. But I think until then, health comes first. You can see, for Kenyans who love going to churches, they stopped at some point. That shows the commitment among citizens.
Yeah.
You know, these are people who go Wednesday, Kesha, Thursday, choir, Friday, Nini, special prayer. They stopped all those. Kenyans accepted to stop and said, government, do what you can do to lower the infection. We have been disappointed. You wonder what is the difference between what we are doing, what we are saying and what we are doing with what Magufuli is doing. Because
at least Magufuli is not eating money.
At least
he's honest about it.
He's honest about it. And he's saying, I'm not going to pretend for anybody, which is very arrogant. So we are putting up shows here. You saw when President called the entire team about about COVID, the one that Deputy President didn't attend. And people like Mudavadi really castigated him for not attending. Everybody who stood there, including Mudavadi, nobody questioned, but President, now in this close proximity, could you just break down what happened to the donations? It was praises, we are serious, we are together. You don't become together by saying you are together.
Exactly.
You don't become serious by saying you are serious. You do serious
If you have to say you're serious, then it means you are not.
Right. You just do serious things and we will see and say, this person is serious.
Yeah.
You don't say, you know, I'm protecting you. Just protect me, and I will say you are actually doing what? Protecting me. So the priority and even the energy that is going towards protecting the regime is too much. The intelligence gathering that is going towards blackmailing and wiretapping those who are opposing BBI could have been used to contact trace. This is a country, now look, they are giving us the infection rate, that the positivity rate is this much. You don't test the same number every day. So, I mean, where are you going to? Where is the standardization? One day you have tested 3,000, another day you have tested 5, and they are random. And then this random, because any scientist, when you want to collect random sample, then you must convince me that you go where people are randomly. You are not consistent. Mara una reagent. This reagent is those things we were using in biology. where you put it in a nini and it shows nini. The
Biology and chemistry.
Yes, that the government has no reagent. So now as a country, we waited for, I don't know, 1 week. When is our reagent coming? You package imekuja na DHL, hiyo ni reagent. Kimbiza KEMSA to test what. I mean, at the end of the day, action speaks louder than word. You cannot tell us you are serious. You cannot tell us you care if all you do is not caring. Health is our right. Before you tell us how much you want to now zero in and move and give us more rights within the BBI, please respect the 2010 Constitution and respect the right to health, including reproductive health. This country has been a valley of broken dreams. You promise one thing and offer one thing without blinking. You know, if you look at other countries, even Trump is somebody about 70-something. Do you know he was giving daily brief? It wasn't anybody else but Trump. Here, the president come once in a while with pomp and color and give.
Fellow Kenyans. What does this give fellow Kenyan? Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, I'm watching your program. Huh? You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, this country is ailing. Huh? Actually, people dying. And you see our leaders are concentrating more serious on politics than caring about our people.
Okay, and please reduce the sound of your broadcast at the back. At the background.
Yeah. Yes.
Tafadhali punguza sauti ya broadcast yako pale nyuma. Nasikia sauti zetu zinarudi huko.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah. This country
Good.
Yeah, are you getting me now?
Much better.
Very good. Haya.
Yes, I'm calling from Migori. And people are scared. When you see doctors dying, when you see senior people dying who can afford medicals, and we wonder where others like us who don't have anything would go.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
Paul Sana, let's keep, I don't know, but we need all these guys accountable. The problem with Kenyans is that we complain, but when it comes time to take action, we never really take action. These are conversations we should be having. We're telling these guys, don't bring us the other nonsense of politics. Let's have a conversation on the healthcare of this country, the welfare of this nation, the health of our people.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about NHI, for instance. You pay NHI every month. How many times do you get sick in 1 year? You don't get sick. You don't get to use your NHI probably even for 3 years. But when a pandemic comes in, the government tells you there's no money. The money you've been contributing, where has it been going to?
Exactly, that is the point.
Yeah.
We are wondering, yeah? So please, when you get in touch with these leaders, because maybe you reach them, huh? Tell them we are tired of politics. We are tired. We actually want to see the conversation. This conversation of BBI should be conversation on the COVID.
Yes.
Yeah, let us have a conversation on how we are going to treat. I'm actually on the border of Tanzania and Kenya. I don't know how Tanzanians are managing. I don't know whether I don't know what is happening there. But as this thing is getting serious. Huh? Yeah.
All right, bro. Let's hope for the best. But anyway, we need to stand up. Wachana hiyo ujinga sijui unatoka wapi. When we die, we all die. The grace does not discriminate. Does not tell you are a Luo. No, now we are going to at least give you some 5 days to stay around. It does not say, I'm calling you, these are the guys, these are the language. We are facing the only two tribes in this country, the rich and the poor, the politicians and the Wanjiku. There's no other tribe, you know. So it's time that we rose, as Wanjiku said, man, we are going to look away from all our differences, from all ethnic backgrounds. We want one thing. We want quality from our government.
And you see, you know, all the donation were lost except the body bags.
Imagine.
So somehow body bags were not given, but everything else that prevent us from getting to the body bags were given away. It is a such situation. But you see, I also blame, I blame, the question we should ask is how did we let them get here? And how did we, means us as citizens, how did we allow them to think they can get away with this?
Yeah.
That is a very fundamental question. You know why? Doctors are doing their best. People in this country have reduced demonstration and picketing to people in Kibera and Madari. The so-called middle class, who are now realizing that they cannot afford a ventilator just like anybody else, cannot talk. As long as there is Blue Band and there is jam and there is bread, and they can go to Java and order things they can barely spell, called mocha and mocha.
And they can fuel their Subarus and go like, you guy, my guy, let's go over to Nanyuki.
And fake some accent, funny accent, they can barely cope with it. They have let this country down. To answer how did we get here? That is a fair question. And by how did we get here, it doesn't excuse what the government is doing, but it is explaining why the government think it can get away with it. All this middle class are simply seated somewhere waiting for to get into the ventilator or their grave one by one. We either perish like fools or we speak up. And the day, if we speak up, if Kenyans can speak up one day, BBI will be over. Issuing of wheelbarrow will be over. It doesn't need a week. If Kenyans could. But guess what? They're not going to speak up. And if you pass by Langata, there's a lot of good people lying there who cannot now achieve their dreams. Wow. Somebody was is being quiet because he's waiting for 2022. They will be in Langata Cemetery before that, or your loved ones. What is it more important than life? And you see, this is we don't take each other's life seriously. Leave alone the conditions we are given, which we should be enforcing, because there is not enough police. We should be enforcing on each other. Hey, you can't come here without a mask. What is wrong with you? Why are you putting your mask like a diaper? Put it properly. We should be self-regulating. But beyond that, we should be asking the government, you cannot do this. I will not let you do this. Remember the report for KEMSA was directed that was to be brought in how many days?
14 or is it 21?
After no break left unturned. Have you seen it?
No.
We are still waiting.
Instead,
we're still waiting for all the bricks to be done.
Right. Instead, there was a big conference where everybody went, including opposition leader, and nobody mentioned KEMSA. You mentioned KEMSA, you are out. And instead, what made people mad, people like Mudavadi, is how come DP did not come here? Instead of him questioning and saying, Mr. President, where is the KEMSA report? What happened? How come of all the donation, the only donation you guys thought worth it is body bags? So you are distributing body bags instead of distributing things that protect
preventive
life
equipment.
So I think as long as we keep asking the wrong question, and that is why even us in a show, it's always we come and ask, how bad are they treating us now? But what are we going to do about it, really? Kenyans are compliant. Kenyans are finding coping mechanism, including religion, that is not urging them to speak and be practical. We need to be very practical. We need to ask questions, because if somebody is playing with your life, how about those manifesto? Are they going to care about implementing them? Thanks.
All right. Lucia.
When the doctors talk about the recovery process from COVID, one of the things that we are advised to do is get plenty of rest and have a balanced meal. Now, my question is, where are we supposed to get this balanced meal when we don't have money in our pockets? How even if you get the COVID, how do you recover? Like,
maybe you make one big ugali, then you balance it. That's a balanced diet. All right. Allow me to disrupt you to make this call to scare.
It's okay.
So as we close in. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Oh, yeah, amepotea. All right. That's an interesting...
You see, people, we want to blame Kenyans for flouting COVID-19 rules. But then you see politicians flouting COVID-19 rules, and no one blames them. Kenyans wana flout COVID-19 rules because lazima wajitafutie bana, you know. You have to eat. You cannot just be telling me stay at home. I stay at home to starve. Na najua nikienda hustle nitapata kitu. It doesn't work like that. And then there's this thing of home-based care. So I'm imagining me with my self-contained, it's not even self-contained, me and my single room pale ghetto, you know, and we are living 5 people in that single room, and then one of us gets COVID. So we are home-based caring for who? Atuna PPEs, we don't even have the protective measures. You know, I'm not saying government should do everything for us, but then even that which government should do, it's not doing.
And the question is, if the hospitals are not working, then what makes you think that you're going to work better at home?
Exactly.
It's quite interesting. They're telling you we cannot treat you in hospital, but at least go home. You'll not die.
You'll treat yourself.
You'll not die.
Yourself at home. go die in the comfort of your home.
Nasikia kuna kitu inaitwanga reincarnation. If there's actually the reincarnation, I would not want to be reincarnated in Kenya. How to reincarnate in another place? You know, it's even being a dog in Kenya is very dangerous. Good morning.
Morning, Kenneth.
How are you?
I'm good. Huyo ni Kimatei Kirui. Nikiwa hapa Nairobi. Niwapongeze tu kwa kipindi.
Asante sana.
Na pia niwaambia Wakenya pia wazingatie sheria ama sheria ambayo Minister wa Health wameitoa kuhusiana na COVID.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Jambo bwana Pito.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, mwema hapa, Steve mwema hapa.
Steve mwema vipi?
Mzuri sana. Salimia the ever beautiful Lucia na daktari hapo.
Na kwa nini hujasema the ever handsome daktari? Anyway, sawa, endelea.
Now, usi maneno ya COVID inatisha sana. Okay? First, we should stop the BBI and Tangatanga politics. The threat kwanza na COVID. Sababu from the things I'm seeing, we will lose more lives. And first we need to survive. Tuachane mambo ingine.
Tupambane kwanza na kuishi maisha.
Tu survive kwanza tuone. Hii mambo ya politics kwanza tuweke kando. Hiyo 14 billion nasikia chini ya BBI. Tulete tununue hizi mali. Inaitwa AC2 bed ama nini hiyo tununue.
Uko na wewe usenye tunaweza weka wanasiasa mpaka 2023.
Sasa sijui Mungu ni Mungu. Tunasema ni God for us all and everyone for himself. Now, the other thing.
Yes, sir.
From what I've noted, we Kenyans, we are not serious. Even though we blame the government,
yes,
in the estate, like mimi na Kaukwe pande Mbakasi, you find people, they don't care. No one puts on a mask. Children are praying anyhowly. No one cares. I don't know, sijui ni kufundishwa ama tumerogwa, sielewi kabisa, lakini tunaelekea kwa shimo kubwa sana. Na Mungu sijui ni nani atatusaidia. We need to reset our thinking. For us to fight this COVID, hata kama tutaletewa hii vaccine, we need to reset our minds the way we are treating this. Because ukiangalia madaktari wanakufa, unaona ni mtu anajitolea kwenda kutibu mtu, lakini huku pengine, huku tunazima moto, mwingine anawasha. Unanipata? So it's like a vicious cycle. We are trying to kuzima moto huko hospitali, wengine hawashughuliki. So sijui tutafanya nini. Inabidi invite bwana Kagwe hapo ndo atuelezee.
Wacha nitampigia simu, lakini sasa hata hajui vaccine inafanya kazi aje. So sijui itakuwa.
Inabidi umlete hapo aulize maswali, Lucia muulize maswali yale mazito. Amwangalie kwa macho. Unajua pengine anahitaji hiyo.
Angalia kwa macho.
Anahitaji.
Sawa, lakini hii vaccine pia bana usishangae Kenya wanaweza kuja ongeze maji. Anything is possible in this country.
Yes. Lakini you guys take care.
Alright.
Mimi yangu nilipimwa Saturday na ngojea. Na fikiri tapatiwa leo na niko na uogoga na dungwa na mgongo huko na
Pole sana, usishtuke sana. Ikija tu, just know that you can always self quarantine na utatibika pole kwa sababu hii serikali imesema ni wewe, it's on you alone.
I'm really ashamed because of our government, they don't care about us.
But we are praying for you, sir.
Okay, sawa.
Asante sana, Steve. Have a good day. All right, guys.
Yeah, you know.
There's someone who posted on Facebook. Her name is Lucy Karaoke. She says 1.5 months of battling COVID and still hanging by the threads, having to deal with shortness of breath, body weakness, permanent headache, and loss of taste and smell. Worst still is that despite having 2 insurance covers whose payment of premium is up to date, I still had to pay cash for the treatment. So when I hear 2 madmen with a battery of wizards and witches only talk of BBI, I want to run mad. My honest opinion, they should be locked up in an asylum. COVID is real, guys, and we are on our own. These clowns have abandoned us. Two insurance covers, premium, paid up to date, and she still had to remove money from her pocket. Like, where is this money coming from? We are all, Gerald, we are all a virus away from becoming bankrupt. Sahi ukipatwa na COVID 84,000 per day inatoka wapi ya PPEs peke yake?
Virus to virus.
You know.
Yeah. And you know, people be out here behaving like expanding the executive is the number 1 priority. If we don't create an office for prime minister, we will die. We are dying because we don't have a prime minister.
Sad. Anyway, Ojwang.
Yeah, you know, even Britain have done research, and they have shown that people comply more, not by law, but by social, because they believe in what is going on. Law by itself does not lead to compliance. People comply because they feel it is right
To comply.
or it is moral to follow that law. So you can draft all the law you want, but when you are doing one thing and saying one thing, then people lose faith in those law. And and all along, you know, I teach a course called Social Foundations of Law. Law is based on culture, on custom, on religion, so law by itself cannot force compliance. Law must come, and people must feel, your government is doing the best, let me also do my part. But when law come and is sprinkled on top of impunity, your donation is gone, and then you tell somebody, now I've drafted law for you, you will have hard time convincing this person that they need to be compliant. And that is the reality. That the giving up, you know, I saw at the beginning, the poor Mama Mboga had water out there. People must wash hands, and she will refuse to sell you if you didn't have a mask. Until she realized, when Atuli kept hosting politicians, when politicians kept moving unabated, she realized this is nonsense. So, you know, Kenyans are known for throwing laws at their problems. But law do not become that magic stick in the hand of Moses to become snake. Law must be enforced by morality. And that morality is because people logically realize this law makes sense. Britain realized that, and people realize, you know what, the government is doing the best, let us also do our best. But if you are not doing your, what ladies like to say, level best, please do your level best.
At least.
If you're not doing your level, I will do my level best. If you're not doing that level best,
To come. I'll do my level best to come.
So you may ignore your level best yako, and then you shift the responsibility. Then it speak to each other. People look at you and say, ini mchezo. Finally, I think that as Kenyans, somehow there is God in this story. The rate we are dying is not the rate that, with all that has happened to us, we should be dying. That there is unexplainable cause that God just looked and said, if I don't put my thumb on this thing,
they will die.
These ones are gone. This one's are gone. This one are gone. So
even the government has given up on themselves.
Mungu ametoa nguvu yake. And that is reality. That with what is going on, as the doctor said, really 1 out of 3 have COVID, asymptomatic. People are not dying at the rate where other countries are dying. In fact, scientists are saying can we say Africa is the healthiest or healthier population than the rest? You see, the other countries are now going through winter, and it's going to even be worse because during winter, oxygen does not, air does not circulate. People are put in one room. It is too cold, and that is the flu season. So the true flu season is again coming on top of the COVID for countries like US and Britain. Here it is summer. So God have done us a big favor. I would like to say that as we look at science, let us not think it is our effort or lack of it. God have already put his stamp on this continent that the rate that we are dying is not the rate we should be dying. But at the same time, let us do our part. That our part means let us not be tired teaching people. You know, when diseases like HIV came, some people don't think a disease is real until it kills their loved ones.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Until it eats them.
Yes, and I used to see very big posters saying, you know, HIV, si uchawi, si nini, it is real, and still people will stand on by those posters and do whatever they want until people started actually dying and people celebrating funeral. It is not a good thing to celebrate funeral because people don't come back when they are dead. When they are dead, they are really dead. So let us do what we can do really from this side of the grave rather than on the other side of the grave. It is terrible. I have seen a body in a body bag. You just have a feeling that what is life? And then that's what Psalms is saying. What is life? It's like breath. You know, somebody dies and then they're taken and then they're put in the body bag, zipped up to the top and carried. It is terrible. Thank you.
Lucia, your tackle of the day.
There's no money for NHIF, but there's money for BBI. There's no money to pay our doctors, but there's money for BBI. There's no money for PPEs, but there's money for PPE. There's literally no money for anything in this country other than BBI. And this is the perfect example that tells you where the interest of our leaders is. Now, Mkenya mheshimiwa, this is why you need to be angry. You work so hard to pay taxes. It is the taxes you pay that are being misused. These taxes you're paying are supposed to cover your NHIF. These taxes you're paying are supposed to ensure that you get the highest quality of attainable healthcare in this country. The taxes that you pay means you don't have to remove cash from your pocket when you have an insurance cover to take care of your medical needs. The taxes that you pay mean you're entitled to 3 meals in a day in this country. The fact that you're not getting all this should make you very, very mad, extremely mad, kwa sababu ini pesa yako unaibiwa.
Then what do you do once you're mad? Demonstrate, speak up, right? I'm trying to...
If I speak my mind, Subaru itaningojea hapo chini na leo sijisikia kupewa lift, niko na fare.
Thank you guys for coming in. Ndio bado napiga simu pale ni sana kuchukua simu sasa wakati. Unakopa Subaru, kumbe na no Subaru nitakuwa nikiwatishia.
Leo niko na fare.
Uko na kafe leo. Asante. Thank you guys for coming in. It has been an awesome conversation. For the tacklers who have been online as well, we appreciate that you made time for us and for tuning in and have this conversation. This is a very sad day. Nimeona nisidilute your story na magazeti. Because this is a serious conversation. Nimeona hii story tusidilute na gazeti.
Mambo ya gazeti na ikiwa hivi anamaliza anasema end this something.
Now we have ended this something.
Yes.
Thank you so much guys for tuning in. This is a tackle and the tackle ends at what time? The tackle ends now. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.